Okay. The next installment, the newest and latest installment of my new guns. And this is a Colt lightweight commander. It's the Wiley Clap Talo edition. And it's the same as the lightweight commander, except it has a national match barrel. The NM will show up. It's there. Novak rear sight and a brass bead front sight. All the guns are empty. There's no ammunition in the room. Blah blah blah. I replaced the Colts are coming. The 1911s are coming with VZ grips, but they have Colt embossed across here, and it's a little bit too big for my tastes, and kind of ugly actually. But this is in .45 caliber. As far as I know, they're available in 11 caliber. Thinking 1911. They're available in 9mm as well. So, and geez, more new guns than I thought. This is a lightweight commander, Colt lightweight commander, regular model, Novak sight, white dot front sight post, and they look remarkably similar. It's because they are. This has the vertical lines instead of the checkering. It came with a plastic mainspring housing, and I replaced that with aluminum main spring housing with some real checkering on it. Otherwise, it's a Colt barrel. They're both equally accurate. They shoot exactly the same. And that's the Colt 1911s. I was showing these to somebody today, so that's why they're all out. The other ones, not all of them are new. So we have the two Colt 1911 .45 caliber pistols that are new. The triggers are, like I said, this was safety checked, and there's no ammunition in the room. Triggers are very nice. I think these are breaking just under 4 pounds, both of them. So we'll set those aside and bring over our next guest. A Beretta PX4 Storm Compact. Now, I replaced a lot of stuff on this. Stealth slide release and decocker levers. The stock levers are like, they call them bat wings, and they actually come out like my thumb does. But these work just as well, and they're flush with the sides of the gun. I'm holding an iPad to film this, so I can't pull the slide back, but this design has a rotating barrel instead of a tip-up barrel to eject and chamber the next cartridge. The trigger group is just one module back here that just pulls out. Take out this pin and another pin over here that holds the hammer in place, and you just pull the whole thing out, and I put a competition trigger group in here. And single action, I think it's a little bit less than 8 pounds, but the double action, I'm sorry, single action just breaks so crisply and nice. And it's a great gun. It's got a rail on it. This breaks down like a Glock. You just push these. There's a tab on each side. Just push them down, and this barrel slides off. I wish I had a third hand so I could show these better. Set this over here, and this is the Beretta 92 Compact, and 9mm. And this is pretty much stock except for, because these grips are nice. I think they originally came with a more plasticky grip, but these have a matte texture to them. They're not slippery at all. But the trigger's been replaced with a fully steel trigger. The trigger return spring is a Wilson Combat plunger type return spring, and single action is light, less than 4 pounds. Double action's about 8. And I believe that's all I did to this as far as customizing it. And great little shooter, holds 13 rounds. And that's a segue right into the beast. This gun it's an M9. It is so accurate, it's beyond belief. Trigger pull on this is a little bit lighter. Single action, just under 4 pounds, just under. Wilson Combat, battle sight, U-notch. Now since you can't change the sights on these, front sights, it's the one it came with. Boy, I've replaced everything. Wilson Combat grips. This is the Beretta steel trigger, a steel fluted Wilson Combat guide rod, D-spring, and got rid of the double-sided decocker, and now just have a Wilson Combat right side. Depends on how you view the gun. Left side. Decocker, it's not a G decocker. So when you push down, it stays down. Push it up, it stays up. And this is the standard. They make a stealth version, but it's difficult to operate. Just super, super accurate, 25 yards. At an 8-inch target, you're going to hit every time. I'm going to hit every time. Your mileage may vary. And great gun. I carry this inside the waistband. It's not a problem. And now my latest acquisition is, see if we can, why isn't it even showing anything? It's a Sig P229 in 40 Smith & Wesson. This was a federal trade-in. Went back to Sig's factory. They inspect it, replace anything that needs replacing, certify it, and it's warranted for 1 year. I've shot 40 caliber or 40 Smith & Wesson before. If I get a better picture of this. 40 Smith & Wesson before, and it was really snappy, and I thought I'd never want one. And this was just, I got it from Sportsman's Guide, and they dropped the price down to $450 for like 3 days. For a SIG certified, new magazines. This pistol doesn't show any signs of wear. God, I wish I had a second hand. I'm just going to set this down for a second. It doesn't show any signs of wear that's ever even been fired. So, breaking the pistol down. I used the Sig Sauer mill lube that they sent along with it. There's just nothing that would indicate that this pistol was used. There's no sign of any kind of wear. There's nothing rubbed off the slide rails. And here's the lens on this thing. Yeah, the same with the slide and the barrel. They're just perfect. It shoots because from everything I've read and heard and seen, the Sig Sauer 229 was developed specifically for the Smith & Wesson 40 caliber. I was expecting at least as much recoil as a 45 caliber 1911. This shoots so softly that it's almost unbelievable. I had to wrestle it from my wife's hand. It came in on Friday, 3 days ago, and it just, we love it. It's fantastic as a rail. The double action is, hang on, we're going to set things down again. Right with you. Now it's back. Single action is about 3.5 pounds. Double action is just under 8, but it's like butter. I mean, this is crazy. This is such a good trigger. I don't intend to do anything with this. Maybe I'll put some night sights on it. Maybe. It has a decocker. And when the Beretta decocks, the firing pin nub in the rear is turned upward. With this pistol, when you decock it, it comes to within 3/16 of an inch of the firing pin, and the firing pin can't be pushed any further forward. You have to pull the trigger, not the firing pin, the hammer. I'm sorry. The hammer has to be pulled. Jeez. All right, let's get it together. Senior citizen moment here. I had a birthday not too long ago. Okay, for the hammer to go all the way forward and contact the firing pin, the trigger must be pulled rearward completely. And now with the trigger held back, I can push the hammer forward. If I release that trigger, I can't push the hammer forward to contact the firing pin. So is that all we have that's new? Yeah. So to wrap it up, Sig P229 40 Smith & Wesson, absolutely fantastic. 2 Beretta 92s, 1 M9. And the nice thing about this is there aren't any warning labels on it. It doesn't say read manual before use, unfortunately, and that's made in the United States. The M9. The Compact 92 is made in Italy and has this ridiculous read manual before use engraving on the side. I think it says something about firearms can be deadly. And the PX4 Storm. And oh, look at that, read manual before use. And our 2 Colt 1911s. And these are excellent guns. Some people say they rattle. Maybe I got bad ones, because these don't rattle. And they're super accurate too. And there you go. So